All right, we're live. Welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of In the Pocket with myself, Eddie Law, I'm your host, and with me, as always, Nick Pilecki, straight out of Texas. How you doing, man?
Good. How you doing, man?
Good. How do you feel about your pick from this last weekend?
We're gonna get into it, but if you follow me on Twitter, I made a Periscope about it right after I left the bar. I'm. Well, we'll get into it. We'll get into it.
All right. Actually, let's get into it right now. We'll talk about the main the UFC 190. Actually, you know what? A lot of people were saying it wasn't that good of a card, and it really didn't look like one. But actually, in my opinion, it was decent. It wasn't great. It wasn't really worth paying your money for. So if you got to see it at a bar or for free in whatever way you can find it, you lucked out. Or you could do it like everyone's been putting these memes on Twitter and on Facebook about saying, like, was it the picture that one dude laughing? And it's like everyone paid for UFC 190. I got to see the main event in 30, on Facebook.
Yeah, exactly.
It was 34 seconds. So anyway, so real quick, we'll go over the results here. Hugo Viana loses to Guido Canetti via decision. Actually, Canetti ended up showing that he's actually a pretty damn solid fighter. So it'll be interesting to see who he gets next. But I would like to see him, take on some even higher competition, because I thought Viana had a lot of potential. All right. So after that, Vitor Miranda knocks out Clint Hester. Wasn't surprised. Hester just doesn't have it, man. You know what I mean? He's seems to be one of those Bellator bound dudes pretty soon. After that, Yuri Alcantara wins the decision over Leandro Isa, and just it was kind of an fight. Then Warley Alves submits Nordy and Taleb, who honestly told Nordy and Taleb was not even on the level of Alves of Warley. So it's a weird thing to see. It was a weird fight to see, but other than that, it doesn't matter. After that, Rafael Cavalcante loses to Patrick Cummins via TKO. That was interesting. I don't know if you saw that picture of Patrick Cummins after the fight. Have you seen it on Twitter?
Yeah, Patrick Cummins. Yeah, I did.
His eyes are black. Like you can barely see. They're like pinched shut. Yeah. Rafael beat the crap out of him, and then in the I forgot what round it was. I think it was the third round. Just didn't have any more, and Patrick Cummins finished him off. So big one for Patrick Cummins there. And then in the was it the main prelim? There you go, the main prelim. Damian Maia gets a submission win over Neil Magny, and that was kind of expected. It took us back; it was kind of over.
Yeah,
and then gets a performance bonus for it. Then starting on the main card here, Claudia Gadelha gets her title shot against Johanna after pretty much beating the crap out of Jessica Aguilar. I don't know if you got to see any highlights of that one, but it was a clinic. And so it was pretty much a butt whoop. And Jessica Aguilar, who had claimed that she was the number one strawweight in the world, well, not anymore. Yeah. So then after that, we got to see Bigfoot get a TKO win over Stoa Pelele. And I mean, it was kind of expected. Somebody was going to go to sleep in that one. I picked Bigfoot to win, so I was happy for that one. Then Stefan Struve wins a decision over Big Nog. And then here's an interesting point. You tell me what you think about this. Dana White said, I think at the press conference, that he had talked to Big Nog in the back, after his fight, and that Big Nog had agreed to retire. Well, now, and they gave him a job as a scout, by the way. Now, he's an official UFC talent scout, right, for fighters and all that.
Yeah.
And but now Big Nog is coming out to say that he's not really sure if he's going to retire. What do you think about that? You think he should? I mean, look, first of all, it's not up to us who retires or not. It's up to them. But in your opinion, do you think Big Nog has had enough, or because he actually wants to fight Frank Mir?
See, that's the thing. If he knows who he wants to fight, I kind of want to see it. I do think he should retire, but like you said, we can't force someone to retire. I would like to see him retire, but if he wants to fight Frank Mir, let him fight Frank Mir. Even though Frank Mir is coming off 2 wins, I like to see that fight. Let's see what happens in that fight. But I would like to see him just retire and just be done, leave his legacy where it is right now, and not tarnish it any more than it is.
That's what I would go with. But other than that, Big Nog, he's got a legendary career. I think he should. I don't know. You would hope as a fan that he'd be done, so he doesn't get any more damage taken on. But I think Frank Mir would finish him again, dude. I don't think he'd have a shot against him, especially the way Frank Mir's been fighting recently.
Yeah.
So all right. Then after that fight, what did we have? We had the first fight of the tough fight. The what?
The craziest tough fight, I think.
Yeah, Reginaldo Vieira against Dileno Lopez. Is that who you're talking about?
Mm-hmm.
What'd you think of that one?
That one was insane. I just got to the bar during that fight, the beginning of the fight, and just going back and forth. It was a very, very good fight. It's just two people that wanted it. two fighters that really wanted it and went for it, and everyone in the bar was cheering and clapping and everything like that. It was unanimous for what was his name? Vieira, right?
Yeah, Vieira.
But I think it should have been a split because that was, in my opinion, that was a great fight by both fighters, and it should have been a split decision. But I had Vieira winning the fight anyway. So
yeah. And by the way, any fighters out there? Here's an example of what you shouldn't do. I don't know. I know you're an NFL fan. Actually, this guy used to be on your team. DeSean Jackson came out not too long ago saying that nobody could stop him. Right? Well, he ran into some training equipment and separated his shoulder.
Oh god!
And now he's out a few weeks. So apparently he could be stopped, which is hilarious. So
wait,
don't ever say that.
Did this just happen?
It just happened a few today or yesterday.
That just
he ran into a. No, relax. He's a Redskin. He's not even in the Eagles anymore.
I know, but fantasy.
Oh yeah, don't draft him because he's gonna be out a few weeks anyway.
Damn.
He's actually gonna be running. He ran into a blocking sled, so that's that's interesting. Anyway, all right, moving on here to in the card to kind of a. It wasn't a great fight. It was kind of boring in my opinion until the very end when Glaico Franca got a submission over Fernando Bruno. Bruno didn't look like he belonged in my opinion, and it just kind of got boring. So what did you think of that fight?
It was it was boring. It was exactly what you said. If you're on the Ultimate Fighter and you're trying to go for that contract, you're trying to make a name for yourself, do exactly what that other fight did. Those two tried to make a name for themselves. They went for it, and they wanted to be the Ultimate Fighter, and that's what they should have done. This fight was really boring. It was just very slow paced. They're playing it easy and trying to get easy wins. So the whole bar was quiet during this whole fight. So
yeah, freaking and real quick on some not Fedor news or anything, but apparently World Series of Fighting is putting in a bid for Fedor. So now you got Bellator, World Series of Fighting, and UFC going after Fedor. That's gonna be interesting shit. To see who actually gets him, but I think the biggest surprise to me is that the UFC actually has a shot because Fedor wasn't too happy with them, not just a few years ago. All right, co-main event: Shogun against Lil Nog. It was supposed to be, they were saying it's gonna be the same thing that happened in Pride. They were gonna go back and forth. These guys are a little older now, taking quite a bit of damage. You got to see the fight. What you think of the co-main?
It was all right. It was what I expected. We're not getting the younger fighters that we got last fight. Last fight was insane. We weren't going to get that fight. I wanted to see that fight again, but we weren't going to get it. And it was exactly what I thought it would be. It was just going to be a slow paced fight, them picking each other apart, trying to get the advantage and getting a decision win. So a lot of people were saying that Shogun shouldn't have won. In my opinion, he did win the fight. I believe he did win the fight. He did that little bit more to beat Nogueira, and it sucks that both Nogueiras lost on the same card.
Yeah, I didn't expect Lil Nog to win, honestly, after seeing Big Nog lose. So that's kind of that's why you don't fight on the same card as your sibling or your teammate. You just don't do it. As much as you can, you don't do it. Sometimes teammates will find the same card, fine. But especially not family. We saw what happened to Anthony Pettis, Sergio Pettis. And, on the flip side, Brian Caraway winning and Misha Tate came out and put a hurting on Jessica Ai. As much as, as little as we want to give Caraway any credit whatsoever, or I want to give credit whatsoever to Caraway, he still won that fight. So anyway, all right, I got to wake up here. The main event, the one that Nick Pilecki chose the challenger to win and dethrone the champion. Instead, the brawler in Bethe Correia gets knocked out with a big right hand to the head, and she got a little gift in a left to the jaw on the way down. All right, so while you were watching the fight, what were your thoughts while you were watching the fight and then right after the fight?
Okay, during the beginning of the first round when they came out, good exchange by both. Good exchange by both. Bethe did catch Ronda at a point, but once Ronda got that clinch and starts uppercutting, man, it was, in my opinion, it was over. She needed her stomach. Bethe dropped her hand and got caught with that hand and got dropped. And she got the closest look of Straight Outta Compton that anyone else has ever seen yet. So congratulations, Ronda Rousey. You're the best of the world. I'm never going against you again, even in this Misha Tate, which we'll get into 3 fight. I'm never going against you again unless Gina Carano comes out and fights you. Then I'll go for my girl Gina Carano, but that's just not gonna happen.
Yeah, it's not gonna happen. Anyway, all right. Here's the thing. So watching the fight, first of all, Bethe Correia came out confident, right? She did not look at all nervous, really. But I saw the first time in trouble when she got in the cage. Did you see her jump around and try to be athletic? Try to make do athletic moves, and she looked worse than anybody I've ever seen doing that. Like, she looked terrible. There was no athleticism there. There was nothing, and that's when I knew this shit's over. Like, that's when I knew this is not even gonna go past the first round, because she's been, when she fights girls, she just she walks forward, she stomps forward, and she hurts people. But as soon as I saw she had no athleticism, it's like you're going against a super athlete in Ronda Rousey. I thought for sure she was gonna go flying. Instead, Ronda comes out, decides to try to overwhelm her with strikes. It worked, and lands a really nasty right hand to the temple, puts her out. Now, I think this is the first big knockout that we've seen. Yeah, it is the first knockout, with the big knockout we've seen out of Ronda Rousey. Technically, I think the fight against Sarah McMahon was declared a knockout, right? Because of the shot to the body.
It was a shot it was declared a knockout. In my opinion, that should have been a TKO.
That should have been TKO, but still, yeah. So this is the biggest, the first knockout. So here's the weird thing: after this fight, the view of Ronda Rousey has changed completely, dramatically, right? People hated her. People that hated her love her now. The casual fan knows who she is now. She does movies. She just signed an endorsement deal with Carl's Jr. She's been doing the Metro PCS stuff. She's gonna, what are they doing? They're doing a movie. I don't know if you heard about this one. They're doing a movie on her autobiography, and she's starring in it as herself.
That is the most badass thing I've ever heard in my life. I'm gonna make a book about me. I'm gonna make a movie about my book about me, and I'm gonna play me. That's good job.
Yeah, it's legit. She's everywhere now. So people are starting to kind of buy into what Dana White said earlier, that Ronda outdrew Conor McGregor. I believe it. I definitely believe it, because let's think about it this way. A lot of people know the name Conor McGregor. A lot of casual fans know the name Conor McGregor. A lot more fans know the name Ronda Rousey, because she's been in movies. She's been in everything. You know what I mean? That's just my opinion on it. But at the same time, Ronda Rousey is going to be a bigger star than she is now, I think. Right.
Yeah, but you got to think about her movies. Like, yeah, she gets that draw, but in her movies, she's been there. What, 2 minute scenes here?
Yeah,
a little bit longer scenes in another movie. But you're right. Like, in my opinion, I got to say she's the biggest draw right now.
Yep.
Right now, yeah, she'll beat Conor. But do you think she's the biggest draw overall as a fighter?
Right now, yeah.
Saying Anderson, saying GSP, saying John Jones.
Well, are you saying right now as an active fighters right now, or
no, as all time right now?
I don't think she is, not yet, but she's gonna get there. I think she gets there, especially after this one. And then this, as much as I hate it, and let's talk about it now, this Ronda Tate fight, because Tate has the title shot. There's gonna be a third fight between Ronda Rousey and Miesha Tate. I'm not happy about it. I really couldn't care less about the fight. Of course, I'm gonna watch it because it's Ronda Rousey, but the interesting part of this is that they're talking about putting on the same card as Conor McGregor, Jose Aldo, and they're talking about doing it in Dallas. What do you think about that?
I'll be there. That's all I can. I'll be there and losing my shit. I don't think it's gonna happen though. No one's gonna fly to Dallas for a weekend. If you ever been to Dallas, you're not gonna want to be there for a full weekend, a week or even a full weekend. You're not gonna want to do it. Dallas is the most boring city in America, in my opinion. It's yes, you have the Cowboy Stadium. Yes, you have AT&T Stadium. You have little things to do downtown, but it's not the biggest city it's not Madison Square Garden. It's not, if you do it in Miami, it'd be a better stadium than doing it in Dallas, in my opinion. I'm going to go, but I'm not going to spend the whole weekend there. I'll go up for a day and drive back, because I'm not spending the night in Dallas again.
Here's the thing about that, and it's good. They're talking. The draw about Dallas is the venue. I've never been to Dallas. I've been in Houston. I wasn't impressed. I'm gonna assume that Dallas is worse. Okay, but the draw there is Ronda Rousey, Miesha Tate, Conor McGregor, and Jose Aldo, right? And it's the stadium. It's Dallas Stadium. It's breaking records and doing all that shit. As long as everyone stays healthy and actually shows up to fight. So, and here's the thing about Madison Square Garden. This is gonna be an unpopular opinion. I wouldn't be impressed with the Madison Square Garden fight. I just wouldn't. It'd be nice to see it once. After the first time, it's going to die down. No one's going to care. It's like, oh, they're going to New York again, whatever, I mean, Madison Square Garden's kind of lost its other than for performance arts, let's say like Kevin Hart when he sold out Madison Square Garden, Chris Rock sold out Madison Square Garden, I think Dave Chappelle's done it, stuff like that. That makes sense, right? But for sporting events, the Knicks
not that big anymore. Yeah.
The Knicks, I think it all comes down honestly to the New York Knicks. If they're great, that place is bumping. The fact that they suck and they suck royally and they've sucked royally for so many years just kills that venue in my opinion. But still,
yeah, like I forgot who was the interview that I was listening to, but they even said like Madison Square Garden isn't, like you said, isn't Madison Square Garden. It isn't that big venue ever since the remodel and stuff like that. How WWE doesn't even go to Madison Square Garden anymore because
they used to be a big thing for them.
yeah, but they have to pay for production. They have to pay extra for production, extra for TV monitors, extra for all this production stuff that they're saying it's not worth the money anymore. Yeah, it's Madison Square Garden, but I can go get the same thing somewhere else without the name and without the production, without spending extra money on production. So I don't care if UFC is going to be in Madison Square Garden. If it is, good. I don't care who's the main event. But if you're going to do Conor in the stadium, it should be either – if you do Dallas, okay, fine, whatever. But I honestly think Miami would – it's an open stadium, but still I think it'd be all kinds of awesome if you had an open stadium.
Right, and of course, Jesse from Crossbones chiming in. Dallas Stadium is huge, man. One of the biggest screens, and that's the thing. The draw is the stadium itself. That it's a huge stadium. The city might suck. I get it. It makes sense, you know. But overall, it's just the thought of selling that place out.
Yeah,
has to be that enticing. So I can see it happening there. I have just a doubt that it's gonna happen. But if it does, hey, cool. I might actually try to fly in and just kind of suck it up and kind of grind out a weekend in Dallas.
Yeah, like I like the stadium. I've been there twice now. I love the stadium. That has to be one of my favorite stadiums, just because the screen. When you're walking up to the stadium, that's all you see through the window is that screen. But yeah, okay, if you sell it out, are you going to go back and do it again? Is Conor McGregor and Ronda Rousey only going to be your two headline? And then have crappy fights on it. You have to make it a stacked card, like a crazy stacked card.
And then that's what I think too, and I hope they do. But obviously, those two fights right there are just, they're pretty damn heavy for that.
UFC 200. Let me go there.
Yeah, here's the thing. Jesse just made a really good point that I brought up not too long ago on Keyboard Warriors. Mm-hmm. But Jesse makes a point. UFC just wants to negotiate a bigger payday from Vegas. Very true.
True.
They could use it. They might be able to use it as leverage. Like, okay, well, we'll take the two biggest fight, one of the biggest fights ever in a pretty damn big fight in the co-main, and we'll just go to Dallas with it. Vegas doesn't want it. Vegas, we'll have to negotiate with them to get that fight. They don't want to lose that money. You know how many Irish people came in?
Yeah.
They'll come in for that. You know how many Brazilians will fly in for that? Just how many people overall fly? If it happens in Vegas, I'm not going to bother going. Honestly with you, I will not bother going because even if it's closer to where I live, just because it's going to be so expensive just to be there. Mm-hmm. But if it's in Dallas, I'll try it. But I agree with Jesse. It could be the fact that they're just trying to negotiate a bigger payday for Vegas. And Vegas likes to win money. They don't like to lose money or even come out even or even get a little bit of profit. They want big chunks. So
yeah. You excited for Ronda Tate 3? You ready to see?
No, don't care. Look, we're gonna see Ronda just beat the crap out of her, and I get it. Miesha Tate's improved. She's a strong right overhand right now. She landed it on eye and hurt her. Yeah, okay. Did you see what a striker did against Ronda Rousey? Nothing. Did you see what Miesha Tate did against Ronda Rousey before? Twice. Okay, took her to the third round. She took her to the third round or whatever it was, and then got armbarred. The fight before got armbarred. You know what's gonna happen this time? She's gonna get armbarred. It's over. Like, what's the point? But it does bring up an interesting point that the 135 women's division is
gone.
There's nobody there. All right, and with that, real quick, give your thoughts on Ronda Tate 3. What do you think?
I don't. Yeah, I'll watch it. Yeah, I'll kind of be excited for it, but Ronda's gonna win again. Like Miesha Tate put on her Instagram like right after the fight. She put guaranteed she won't do that to me, Ronda Tate or Rousey Tate 3. Yeah, she will. She'll knock your ass out. She won't armbar you this time. She'll put a stamp on your ass and knock you out. That's it. And then mark her off. You're done. You're not going to get the gold until she retires. That's it. Like, yeah, you have earned that number one contender spot, but do you really want to go and do this again? Like, there's no thing.
Yeah. Here's the thing. At this point, Ronda Rousey and Conor McGregor got one thing in common besides the whole, just the aura of them, I guess. It's a payday.
Yeah.
Miesha Tate will make bank in that fight. I mean, bank in that fight. You know what I mean? So it's.
Look at the guy who's fighting Mayweather next month, I think.
Berto? Yeah. September.
Do you think he's gonna win?
Hell no. They just give him a tomato can to beat up so he can
Exactly.
just get in there and win.
But Berto's like, yeah, give me that money. I'm down. I'll get knocked out. I'll get my ass kicked. I don't care. Just give me the money.
Yeah. Yeah. Jesse coming in saying Tate has newfound power and better cardio. Agreed. Still gonna get armbarred.
Still gonna get beat.
Okay. I say at least armbarred. I don't know. I mean, look, it might be a great fight. You never know. But that brings us to my next thing that I want to talk about. Chris Cyborg hitting. First of all, the interview Chris Cyborg did on SportsCenter was hilarious. Someone needs to get fired on that PR team or that PR people or whatever. Whoever told her that, hey, yeah, you should definitely go on SportsCenter, an American show where they speak only English, and you should talk about whatever, fighting Ronda Rousey. She gets on there. First of all, her English is pretty bad, and at the same time, they should have prepped the interviewers, right, and told them, hey, she doesn't speak great English. Don't. Did you see the interview at all?
I saw bits and pieces of it. I couldn't take it anymore. After hearing her talk, I couldn't do it anymore. It's ridiculous.
Yeah, it was pretty bad. So it was just bad. So don't please, Cyborg, don't do any more interviews unless you have a translator, or just dummy down the questions. Not to say she's stupid. I don't know her. She might be. She might not be. But to say that she doesn't understand, she didn't understand like at least four or five of the questions that they asked her. She just gave some random answer that she thought about. It's like, I'm ready for these fights. I could fight tomorrow and stuff like that. It's like, that wasn't the question, but okay, whatever, So, but her point was, she made this point, and I want to know what you think about this. She said Ronda Rousey has cleaned out her division. The champ should move up to fight new opponents. I don't agree with that, but a lot of people do. And that's kind of a point. But at the same time, you want to fight the champ, you need to come down to 135. That's my view. But I don't know. What do you think about that? Do you think Ronda Rousey's cleaned at the 135? And if she has, should she move up?
No, she shouldn't move up. If she's dominant down there, she doesn't have to move up. If she doesn't want to test herself and move up, which a lot of people think she should test herself and move up and fight Cyborg. But if she's a champ and she feels comfortable, she wants to stay at the weight class she is in, come down and fight the champ. That's all you have to do. Like you said, you just come down, make the weight, and fight me. That's all. She has every right to. She's cleaned out the division. She's champ. She's undefeated. She's, in my opinion, the best champion in the UFC right now. Just come down and fight her. If you can't make the weight, oh well. Just do what you have to do and stop talking. Stop running the Ronda Rousey train.
Yeah, definitely. And, like I said, I want to see the fight, but I want to see Chris Cyborg drop down to do it. Unless Ronda Rousey decides that she wants to fight her, then fine, go for it. That's really up to her.
Maybe she'll get fed up with it and just move up.
And I think that's what Cyborg's trying to do, is get fed, piss her off enough to be like, fine, let's go. I mean, just like what's her name, Betch Correia did by talking about suicide and all that stuff.
Yeah.
That got Ronda pissed off enough to want to beat her. So you never know. Maybe talk about Ronda's family and see what happens. Although that might not be the way to go. Keep in mind, Ronda Rousey beats Cyborg, all right? And it's not even close.
No,
I don't care what anyone says. Everyone's like, oh, well, no, Cyborg's bigger. She's going to hit her. First of all, yeah, maybe because of roids back in the day. Not now. I don't know about now. She's supposedly tested clean, but back in the day, which, by the way, Ronda was talking about. It was weird about Ronda's interviews because she left it vague enough. She's mentioned that, all the other girls make 135, and maybe if she stopped doing something about she said steroids and stuff, and maybe she stopped doing them, she could make 135 or whatever. But I think she left it vague enough to not get in trouble. But Cyborg has said she wants to sue Ronda Rousey for slander. You think she has a shot?
Sue Ronda Rousey for slander? No, you can't. It's a way to sport. You can do whatever you want. It's promotion. Get over it. Seriously. If she's trying to do this to get the fight, just make the weight. Cut your muscle. Lose that muscle mass. Lose the weight and calm down. It's all you have to do. It's easy. It's. I'm not saying. I don't know your doctor and said that. Okay, I have to lose the weight. If you lose that weight, you're gonna die. But there's a way around it. You can lose that weight and you can get down there, and then you can talk. Just stop talking.
Yeah, and if you really believe you're gonna die because making weight, then don't worry about it. Forget about the fight, but stop talking. Let it go. That's just my point on that. All right. Moving on to the next thing, we were gonna talk about. Who's in my Pajares, right? Yeah. Pajares against Jake Shields this last weekend. Really weird fight because during the fight, first of all, there was a lot of eye pokes, right? In fact, Steve Mazzagatti, who's the ref, kept warning Usman Pajares about his eye pokes. Hey, watch the eye pokes, watch the eye pokes. He warned him like 5 times. Never took a point away. In fact, I think the first time it happens, you warn him. The second time, you take a point. And the third or fourth time, you DQ. I think you end that. You know what I mean? But regardless, he didn't. And then Usman Pajares gets Jake Shields in the Kimura and then cranks it after he taps. And now World Series of Fighting has stripped Usman Pajares of his belt and suspended him indefinitely. Basically, by the way, Jake Shields suspended too for that punch after the fight was over. But which is a little weird. But look, he still broke the rules. Shouldn't have done that. So he should, Nevada State Athletic Commission has suspended both of them until a hearing to figure out what they're gonna do. So, what do you think? Usman should have been stripped or not?
Yes, I defended him in the past with his was it Mike Price fight when he held on that heel hook. I defended him. Okay, fine, you're in heat of the moment, whatever. Happened again. Defend him still. Okay, heat of the moment. He needs to learn that shit. After 7 times, 7 times after doing this, no, you're done. You're done. Congratulations. You're no longer an MMA fighter. No organization is going to pick you up after doing that, after intentionally hurting fighters. Eye pokes, yes. There are eye gouges. He was grinding in his eyes. That's ridiculous. And Steve Mazzagatti was a referee. You're a vet. If you see that, you should know. You should know how to stop that. And he should have been disqualified after that. And then cranking the armbar after. I don't think Jake Shields should be suspended at all. That he was the only one in that cage. He was fighting alone. The ref didn't have his back, and Pajares was just trying to hurt him. He didn't have his back. It was a baby punch. That's it. It wasn't even that hard of a punch. And then afterward, Pajares just puts his hands up, like calling him out. Like, Jake Shields should not have been suspended for that. Okay, fine, he broke the rules, but the commission should have saw, okay, well, he was the only one. He was getting abused in this fight badly and had no support. We're not going to suspend him. But they did. So he'll be fighting who next?
I don't even know.
I think it's Okami or who's fighting? Okami and Fitch. Winner gets title shot against Jake Shields.
Well, that's what they're going to do, or is that what they're...
I think that's what they're going to do.
Okay, well, maybe.
That should be smart. That should be the thing, but that pisses me off that he's suspended.
Yeah, and look, you can't have, you can't have guys cranking stuff after the tab. You can't have eye gouges. And good thing you said that, because Jesse immediately hit me up on Facebook and said, eye gouging? Yes, you're right, eye gouging. That was an intentional attempt at pretty much blinding Jake Shields. So it's a weird situation to see, and we're going to see how the Nevada State Athletic Commission handles it. But I don't think they ever handle anything well, so I think they're gonna screw it up somehow. But I would like to see Jake Shields back in there for a title shot now that Usman's not gonna be in there. And I honestly think they ban him.
That was his eyes afterwards. Not as bad as Patrick Cummings, but there's cuts from nails, and that's ridiculous. It's just that whole fight pissed me off. The whole fight. Yeah,
and Jesse agrees. Winner of Fitch versus Okami for the title shot for a title. So I agree with that as well. All right, so moving on, we're gonna. I lost our list here of stuff we're gonna talk about. It's great. Live TV, ladies and gentlemen, that's what happens. This weekend. That's right. This weekend is the last one we got today. All right, this weekend, our main event in UFC Nashville, which, by the way, has had plenty of like crazy stuff happen. Yesterday, I think there's some dude shot up a theater. Yesterday, the day before, some dude shot up a theater. So they're going to be sending out those memos to UFC fighters of stay indoors. I know it's Nashville, but stay indoors. So real quick, I'm going to run down the prelims real quick. Starting on Fight Pass, the early prelims starting at 3:30 Pacific, 6:30 Eastern time. First fight, Anthony Christodoulou against Scott Holtzman. After that, Marlon Vera, who's actually on that tough Latin America season, against Roman Salazar. And finishing off the early prelims, Chris Dempsey against Jonathan Wilson. Then on Fox Sports 2, which means I'm going to either find a stream or I don't know what I'm going to do. I don't have Fox Sports 2 and I'm not paying for that garbage. They have ping pong on there, some shit. Yeah. First fight on the Fox Sports 2 prelims, 5 p.m. Pacific, 8 p.m. Eastern. Frankie Sainz taking on Serwan Kakai. After that, this fight should be good, and it's going to suck if I miss it. Dustin Ortiz taking on Willie Gates. This is going to be a good fight. Do not miss this fight. Both of these guys are fun dudes to watch. After that, for some reason, Chris Camozzi's still here, taking on Tom Watson. And then in the headliner for the prelims, Uriah Hall against Oluwale Bangbose. Here's the best part. Uriah Hall's nickname, Primetime. Oluwale's nickname, Holy War Angel. So I'm gonna watch it just because I want to see what happens. I really do. I want to see if the Holy War Angel is legit. All right, we'll touch on the main card here. We'll talk about the top 3 fights. So I'll just go over real quick the other ones, and you stop me where you want to talk about. Ray Borg, the Taz Mexican Devil, taking on Gian Herrera, and then I believe the only female fight on the whole card, the 135 is coming out. Sarah McMahon taking on Amanda Nunes. Who you got in this fight?
I don't really care because none of them are going to fight Ronda Rousey, but Amanda Nunes, I think she wants it more.
I think Sarah McMahon's going to find a way to just hug her to a win. I just kind of what she does. So I think it's going to be her controlling the top and landing strikes and just scoring points. We'll see. All right, after that, the heavyweights coming out. Jared Rushholt, the Big Show, taking on Timothy Johnson, who looks like a character. I don't know if you've seen him. He got that mustache, but he just looks like a character.
Yeah.
So definitely not really a fight to care about, but check it out. It's heavyweights. After that, this is gonna be a good fight. I think
this is what I'm excited for.
Yeah, Derek Brunson taking on Sam Alvey. Smiling Sam Alvey's been knocking dudes out left and right recently, and Derek Brunson I don't think has the skill set to stop Sam Alvey or take him down or anything. I think Sam Alvey's gonna knock this dude out too. What do you think?
This is Sam Alvey's test to get into the top 15. I think he will do it. He's been shocking me every single fight. And I think he's going to knock him out. He's going to knock him out in the first round. This guy, if you follow him on Instagram, he was just doing karaoke last night just because with his daughter on stage. He has to be like one of the most humble fighters, but he's going to knock your ass out.
Absolutely. All right, the fight after that is actually one I'm excited about as well, though not a lot of people are for some reason. Beneil Dariush taking on Michael Johnson. And, Dariush is a dude that just finds a way to win fights. He's 11-1, man. He's legit. Taking on Michael Johnson. What do you think about this fight?
I honestly think Michael Johnson's going to lose this. I think Dariush is going to win. Dariush he's a smart fighter. He's not boring per se, but he's very smart. He puts his strikes together well with his takedowns. He puts his ground and pound together with his submissions. He's very, very smart fighter. So I'm going to go with Dariush. I'm
taking Michael Johnson for the fact that I like Michael Johnson, and I hope he wins. I really do. So, all right, and I want to see him get a title shot in the next year or two, if possible. There's too many guys there at that weight right now. All right, and then the main event, one that has potential to suck.
What?
Potential to be, listen, hear me out. Potential to be really good. Well, Vince St. Preux taking on Glover Teixeira. Glover Teixeira is a striker. There's no doubt about it. This dude just throws bombs, right? Vince St. Preux got beat by Ryan Bader. That is what kills it for me. Because, look, I know he knocked Shogun out, but could you say that was kind of a lucky punch? At least a little bit. I think it was a little bit.
Shogun was going for it. He was scooping down for a takedown. He caught him. That was smart. Right. Smart.
We'll give him that one. Let's say it's smart. I don't think he can strike with Glover Teixeira. And I don't think he's going to take Glover Teixeira down. What do you think?
I think he's not going to want to take him down. I think he's going to want to strike with Glover, and he's going to outstrike him. I honestly think he can catch him. I love Glover. I really do. He's a great boxer. He did boxing in the past, but I think his time's up, and OSP's coming for it. I think OSP's going to do this. Yes, he lost to Ryan fucking Bader. It's Ryan Bader. God, how do you lose to Ryan Bader? Well, he's here, and where's Ryan Bader now? Crying for a title shot because he's not going to get it. You hug people to death. That's all you do. OSP is entertaining. OSP is going to end up getting this win, and he's going to make his claim for that title.
All right, real quick, we'll hit a few little points here. Miles Jury and Michael Chandler are leaving Alliance over in San Diego. Kind of weird that they're leaving those camps, or that camp, right? That's the Dominic Cruz camp. They have a lot of success and everything. Yeah. But they're bailing, man. And then the other news: Martin Kampman leaving Team Alpha Male.
I thought he was coaching Team Alpha Male.
He was coaching, and he's bailing.
They're
saying that, and the reason he's quoting is that sorry, the reason that he's leaving, he says, is because his family wants to leave Sacramento. So it's kind of weird. But do you think maybe Faber's starting to piss dudes off over there?
I think it's just the whole competition with him and Dwayne. I like during his last event, I knew something like that wasn't going to happen during the event, but afterwards I had a feeling it's going to explode, and we're seeing it now. There's controversy in both camps, and Campman's probably tired of Uriah Faber and heading out. That camp is strong, though. Like, even without Dwayne, it's still strong. It's not the strongest. I guess the only fighter that's won since Dwayne has left is what? Page?
Yeah, Paige.
I think that's it.
I mean,
So
and TJ obviously, but TJ did most of his camp over in Colorado this time.
yeah, he trained with Dwayne, but ever since Dwayne left, Page is the only one that's been winning. So maybe they need to shift some gears and figure some shit out.
Yeah, I don't know. I just have a feeling favor is the reason. But real quick, Jesse just reminded me that that Michael Chandler and Miles Jury are moving over to Power MMA.
Oh,
So I think they're coming here. They're coming to Phoenix.
uh-oh.
Yeah, someone should tell them they're coming at the wrong time. It's hot as shit here. Don't come here. But and Master Tong is back. Okay.
What? Oh yeah.
Yeah.
No, I don't care.
All right.
Unless I'm training with them, I don't care.
All right. Let's talk about two matches that just got made recently. Tyron Woodley taking on Johnny Hendricks. Here's my take on it. Woodley will gas. Johnny Hendricks will hug him. Fight will end that way. What do you think?
I'm mad because I'm not going to be there because I want to see the fights. But no, I want to see that fight. I honestly do because I think it's the right fight that they're supposed to make. But like you said, I think Tyron Woodley gets gassed and then Hendricks takes a win, or Tyrone just knocks him out somehow. Please, someone, please, God, if he knocks Henderson out or Hendricks out, he will become my favorite fighter. I just want to see Hendricks get knocked out. I'm tired of him. I'm tired of making him his claim. I'm the rightful champ. I didn't lose the fight. I want him to get knocked out so he shuts up.
I hear you. A lot of people do. Honestly, I'm kind of tired of hearing Hendricks talking too. So that's one thing to look. And then the other one, Robbie Lawler will meet Carlos Condit at UFC 193 in Australia. First of all, how much does it suck that this fight's not going to be here?
Exactly.
I would like to go to it. I really would. If it was in Vegas, I would actually make the effort to go to Vegas and watch Lawler Condit. It's in Australia. I'm not flying over there. So, but regardless, the matchup sounds awesome. I think it's going to be bloody. It's going to be crazy. Lawler might lose his entire lip this time, and because Condit's elbows are crazy. But I'm picking Lawler to retain, man.
Yeah, I'm picking Lawler. Lawler's that animal. Even if he's down, he's still going to come down, bite down on his mouthpiece, chin tucked, going for it. And I think that's exactly what's going to happen. I think Lawler can win. Is that going to be a morning card? I don't know the time zones over there.
I don't know. It's a pay-per-view. It's UFC 193. So I think
so it's not going to be a morning card. Cool.
Yeah, I think what they do is they leave it normal for us and then make them fight like at 2 a.m. or earlier.
Yeah. Okay, good. Because I don't want that morning pay-per-view shit.
Exactly. All right. Just reading through through all the stuff, the headlines here. Oh, the last thing I want to talk about. I don't know why. Diego Sanchez is going down to featherweight, meeting Ricardo Lamas in Mexico in November. Diego Sanchez. I don't know what to say about Diego Sanchez, man, besides the fact that he's great and he's awesome to watch. But every time he fights, he seems like he's losing a little bit more, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And he had a hard cut to 155. Now it's going to be a harder cut. Like, what are we expecting from this guy?
He's scaring me. I'm tired of him making this hard cuts. He's a vet in the sport. I'd like to see him fight because he just goes for it. Mm-hmm. And he's the nightmare, man. When he changed his nickname to the Dream, no, you're the nightmare. And I liked him back then. I still like him now. I like this fight, but I don't think he's going to make it. Honestly, I'm knocking on wood right now. I think he's gets injured in weight cut.
And the last time Diego Sanchez was supposed to fight was in Mexico, and I think he got injured too. Yeah. So he didn't make it. All right, it's going to do it for our show today. This weird morning or Thursday morning noonish episode that had to be really quiet because I'm in an office and shit. So it's kind of crazy. All right. Yeah. Thank you for tuning in. You can follow him at Nick X Mike or follow me at Elaw31. The page is at CrossBonesMMA. Shout out to the good guys over at FightBookMMA.com. Good dudes. And yeah, it's gonna be it for us today. And yeah, we'll talk to you guys later.